Hello, I'm Mark and welcome to Little Known Stocks, the show where I try to prove that being boring and doing your research will make you money. Now, today I'm going to be talking about Clever Leaves, who just released their Q1 earnings and the price took a bit of a tumble. That's mainly due to this revenue figure, which isn't so clever. 3.5 million versus 2.9 million last year, gross profit of 2.2 versus 2.2 pretty much last year. So not a lot to write home about there, but this is why you always listen to the call, because there's a lot of positive news behind this. And I'm going to go into 10, maybe 11 reasons why this was a really good earnings, and in my opinion, makes me a lot more confident about Clever Leaves going forward. So number one, first revenue in Portugal. Number two, first revenue in Israel. 3, Brazil. 4, Germany. They're opening up the markets that they said they would. That's really good news. Takes a long time to do that. A lot of filings, particularly for the medical type herbs that they're selling. So that's really, really good, and that should start to come through throughout the rest of the year. 2, Portugal, and their Portugal site is now GACP certified. So that's not the full certification that they need to sell throughout Europe, but it's certainly a step towards it. And they're building that trust, and they're building their Portuguese site, which is excellent. 6, they are actually physically building their Portuguese site. So they've started construction. They're increasing their grow yield by 150% through the construction that they're doing on the Portugal site. So that's really strong. 7, they received their Colombia annual quota for growth, and it is 18% of the world's cannabis production. That is absolutely massive, which is great. 44,000 kilograms of flower can be produced from their Colombian site alone, let alone what could come from Portugal in the future. Number 8, they reduced the price of their production. It's in here somewhere at the top, from 15 cents per gram to 13 cents per gram. So this is something that they already were extremely cheap compared to their competitors. Even with this small amount of revenue, they're already decreasing their costs, which is really, really great to see. Now, speaking of costs, low operating costs and cash. So they're holding 69 million. For the quarter, they lost around 7 million. There was a greater loss posted than that, but the operations loss was 7.7 million. That's lower than it was last year even. And if you look at the total loss, it's more to do with the reclassification due to them being a SPAC. So they're holding quite a lot of cash in terms of versus what they're earning, which is really good. And I think they can go for a long time without necessarily driving more revenue, even though I think they will. Number 9, their full year outlook hasn't changed. So 17 to 20 million of revenue. Obviously Q1 has been very, very small, but they're looking to build on that throughout the year, and they haven't changed that guidance. So that's really, really good. Number 10, they don't have any US earnings in these figures and in their projections of 17 to 20 million. The US is obviously the biggest market, so that could be a huge upside this year. We know that they've now shipped CBD oil into the US, and they're looking at other cannabidiol type products. So that's a really strong market. They've already got existing custom there, and that could be a big upside to their earnings in the future. And that's it. So I think all in all, that's 11. I missed a number somewhere along the way, but really, really happy with this earnings report. I pretty much treat them as a pre-revenue company at this point, but they are doing so much to build. I pretty much am treating them as a pre-revenue company at this point, but they are doing so much to build, and there's so much backing and build up of all these things that they're developing in all these different markets. So I can really see them exploding in terms of revenue in the next couple of years as the revenue starts to come through. All the markets they've set up, they're well ahead of their competitors, and let's hope there's some big news in terms of some big sales in maybe Q2, Q3, Q4 that we can look forward to. That's all I got time for. Thank you for watching and have a good day.